Hi, everybody. Dave Clark from InspectCheck.net. Today, I just want to talk about something, a little bit of knob and tube, but we're not going to really get deep into knob and tube, but I will. And that video will either is up or will be up soon. I just want to, I get a lot of text pictures from inspectors in the field. I've trained a lot of inspectors, and I always tell them, send me pictures if you have something that you're stumped on. I'll do my best to try to. I can't always solve it, but I'll do my best. I get pictures from inspectors, either text or email, and I got this one. And it's really, this video is going to be more about just identifying that knob and tube could be there. And even more that it is there. And we'll talk about my feelings on knob and tube. But what I want to do is I want to show you the picture I got. And you tell me. So I get this picture. Make sure I'm sending you the right one. Yep. So I get this picture from an inspector on the field, and he says, is this knob and tube? Does this indicate that there's knob and tube in the house? Then the answer is no. This is for low voltage, which is another whole show, which we'll talk about that too. I've seen a lot of low voltage. This area seems to have a lot of it, like 50s, 60s. Anyway, so no, this is not a knob and tube light switch. This is a low voltage one. So what is a knob and tube one? Well, let me show you. So again, a lot of that here, a lot of old stock in this area. This is a knob and tube, these push switches. If you see this, more than likely, you've got knob and tube. Unless somebody was, I hate to use the word crazy, but let's say not wise enough to wire regular non-metallic or even the old 2-wire cloth into this, which trust me is possible. When you get into homeowner stuff or electrical stuff or anything, really, anything is possible. I'm not surprised at anything I see. So if you see this with these switches, these push switches, this pushes in, that comes out, and vice versa. Maybe some of the younger and new inspectors have not seen that. That definitely is an indication that there is or was knob and tube. Okay, so I want to show you something else too. And so I know everybody knows what knob and tube is when you see this. Okay, and clearly, we're in the attic space or basement, and here it is, right? And you can see that it's just, I'm gonna go with yellow today. You can see that it's just taped here. I mean, dangerous stuff. We also know, and there's some insulation here, that insulation cannot be in contact with knob and tube, cannot be covering it. So if you see this in a basement floor and there's cellulose blown over the top of it, that is definitely a problem. I would call that out all day long. But short of that, what's interesting about knob and tube also is that there's a lot of municipalities, a lot of codes don't require that it's removed. Some might if you're updating the electrical, but it depends, and so we still see it. There's really nothing that says you have to get rid of it. Some insurance companies, though, will tell you to get rid of it and maybe not insure you. Personally, if I see knob and tube in a house, I'm going to tell my clients to get rid of it. It's just not safe. It's not grounded. It can't be grounded unless it's individually grounded, but for the most part, it's not. You just have a hot and a neutral. You've got shared neutrals. If somebody jumps too much into those hots and there's too much returning on the neutral, you could have a fire problem. Just not a fan of it at this point. I know it was state of the art back in 1900 or whenever, but at this point, we don't want it. And what scares me too sometimes is this, and we're going to talk about updating the electric. I love it when, you'll see in a listing or something that says updated electric. So I've got a whole nice video on that. And is it really updated, or do they just mean they have a new service panel in there? Let's take a look here. If this listing says updated electric, I guess they're not lying, because, some of these have been updated, right? I want to use yellow. Some of these are updated. These are the newer non-metallic, brand name, Romex, whatever. Here's our main service cable right here coming in. These are the older cloth, probably 2-wire, not grounded. These may be grounded, depends on the service. Again, just by putting a new panel in, I know they say that the service has been updated, but maybe not. And we'll talk about that. But more importantly, let's see, we'll use green. What's this and what's this? And what are these guys over here? These, my friends, are knob and tube going into this panel. So when I see something like this, I say, well, the panel was updated, okay, but a lot of the branch circuit wiring wasn't. You know, what are we doing here? They're not going to be grounded. They're knob and tube, sharing common neutrals. Are they amped correctly? You may not know. Do you know if they're live? More than likely, if they're coming into the panel, but they could be capped off. There could be a junction box somewhere. Just a lot of problems. So I'm going to give my client a heads up on this for sure, and let them know that even the panel was updated, but there's still a lot of older wiring. But this is really not what this video is about. It's really identifying knob and tube. So we saw the picture. If you saw that type of switch, the push switch, it's probably knob and tube, or was for sure knob and tube. If you look here coming into the panel, you see these single strands coming in with shared neutrals. That's knob and tube. And we also saw the actual picture of knob and tube. I think everybody knows what that looks like. How you call it, that's up to you. I'm going to tell them they really should update it. Now, so let's just talk about how I would report just this. So, you know, he asked me, he goes, well, how would you report this? So I'm going to show you quite simply. Just go to our report. We're going to just head right over to electric. And we're going to start at the top here. Supply is main. Okay, we don't really need to fill this out, whether it's overhead, meter location. Main service, in this case, was, I think, aluminum in there, might have been copper clad. And we're just talking about the main service, but main electric service, where's the main service disconnect, all that stuff is fine. Service size, again, whatever they updated the service to, that's what we're going to hit here. And then the service panels, that panel was updated. So everything so far looks good until we get into branch circuit wiring, right? And we're going to just put down what type of branch circuit. In this case, we're all across the board, right? We've got copper and we've got copper clad. Okay, I didn't see any aluminum in there. 240 volt circuit, yep, they were noted. I'm going to come down to here. And unsatisfactory damage switch. I'm going to replace that switch, that knob and tube switch, unsatisfactory wiring. And I'm just going to write in here knob and tube, or evidence of. How about if we go with that? Evidence of knob and tube wiring. And we're saying recommend, and this is going to say the inspector's indicated improper wiring, recommend evaluation or repair by an electrician as soon as possible. Evidence of knob and tube. Same thing here. You could write knob and tube in there if you want. All right. And then I'm going to head right over to conductor installation. This is where we're going to give them a lot of info right here. Knob and tube wiring is obsolete and likely to be brittle. Knob and tube wiring is usually not grounded. Recommend a licensed electrician remove the knob and tube wiring and update with modern approved wire or cable. This is our language in InspecCheck. You could change that if you don't like that. I like it, and I stick by that. If it's knob and tube, you know, I got cloth insulation too, by the way. If it's knob and tube, I'm going to recommend it's replaced. And we come down here, considerable dry rot noted, and that's going to be to the knob and tube. We could note that in there too. The other thing, and we're going to talk about this on another service panel or service size. I just want to put in here our sub panels, and I want to just, I know I'm scrolling quickly, but we would be in service panels, and we would make this note for sure. The main service panel has been updated. However, many branch conductors are older, and what InspecCheck populates automatically is the main service panel is possibly the amperature voltage have been updated. However, many of the older branch circuits are still in place. Refer to other areas in the section as to the visible condition of these older branch circuit cables, receptacles, switches, etc. Recommend evaluation by a licensed electrician and updating the older branch circuits as necessary. 100%. And you could write in here evidence of knob and tube if you want. We already did it a couple times already on the report. And that's what I'm telling them. That main service panel was updated, okay? but you know, we still have knob and tube running in it. So when we see a listing, you know, you see a listing that says electric service updated. Well, was it really updated? They put a new panel in. So, you know, I guess so. It was partially updated, but would be the best way to put it. So I love using that in the report that says, although the main panel was updated, many of the branch circuits were not. We see junction boxes with knob and tube coming in and splices and all that. Look, there's the right way to do it, and there's the not the you know the incorrect way to do it, and we like doing it the right way. And if that's my house, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to leave knob and tube in there and try to splice it in the main service panel and do that. So anyway, I just wanted to do this for you to identify it. Maybe some newer inspectors haven't seen those push switches. So now you did. And that's how I would report it, whether I saw the knob and tube, whether I saw evidence of knob and tube, and if I saw knob and tube coming into the panel. We'll do another video on updating the main electric service, and that'll be out very soon. So I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to get it out there because I saw that picture come to me, and I thought maybe somebody else might have that question. So please subscribe to our channel. And because we're going to get more of these out. I've got so many, and I'm just sharing them with everybody. I love doing the instruction and all that, so I put it out there, and please subscribe to that. You could also go to homeinspectortrainingonline.com, where there's links, and there's also our blog. So we have lots of white pages and things like that. All right. So until I see you next time, have a great day.